Hey guys, it's Rage, and this is DsG Grim's 110, or no, 103 to 10, excuse me, in Hardcore CTF. And this commentary is going to be kind of about, like, complications with getting the 100 plus and why it's so difficult, and, like, kind of like different ways you can get it. And none of this is meant to sound negative in, like, any form. I'm just kind of comparing ways to get 100 pluses, I suppose you could say. So let's kind of start off with this gameplay. CTF is a 15 to 20 minute game mode. This game was 20 minutes. I cut it down to like 9. And CTF, you cannot like rush. It's all about the spawn trap. It really is all about the spawn trap. However, if you watch most of the other 100 pluses are on YouTube, they're in core, ground war domination, or kill confirmed. Like, you'll occasionally see a 6600 plus, maybe. I don't even know. 6600 plus is very hard to pull off. But in a 10-minute game mode, from a YouTube standpoint, it is far more entertaining because to get the bare minimum of 100 kills in 10 minutes, you have to get, I think it's like 1 kill every 6 seconds, but to get it in here, it's like 1 kill every like 12 seconds. Now, you can go through and like do like the fractions or whatever and find out the statistics. I did not, but this kind of gameplay and like the kind of gameplay like what I like to post, which is the fast pace, the rushing, the constant push to spawn, push the enemy back. It's that's more like the reason I rush is because it's far more entertaining than some type of like camping. Like who watches camping gameplay? I mean, really, I mean, Grim does a good job. He's moving around, he's head glitching. He and his team are getting a nice little spawn trap going. I think he recycles his score streaks like 3 times. He gets like 3 sets of dogs. I think the majority of his kills actually come from like claymores and like gun kills because I think the teammates keep backing out. So if you want to kind of go for 100 plus and don't really give a shit, not give a shit, but I mean like if you want to get 100 plus and it's like you don't care whether you like you want to post it to YouTube, you don't care if it's entertaining, you just want to get the 100 plus to say you got the 100 plus. Get a team together, go spawn trap. That is probably if you have a good team, then it's not going to be too challenging unless you're facing good enemies. But if you're like me and you post to YouTube and you want it to be an entertaining, fast-paced rush gameplay, then you go into core and you go into domination and you bust your ass in the map. You are constantly running, you are constantly slaying, trying to get that magical 100 plus. It's I hope you all can kind of see like what I'm trying to say, because CTF and like demolition, it's a slower game type because you're trying to you are trying to drag out in like domination, but I mean sometimes you have double the time to get the 100 plus. So complications with getting the 100 plus, guys, it requires a fair bit of luck. You have, especially for your first 100 plus, you have to use a weapon that you are familiar with. With me, that is the PDW. For you, that might be the MP7 or the Type 25 for all I know. But you have to have a weapon you're familiar with. You have to be on a good map. So if I get 100 plus, it's probably going to be on either Raid, Plaza, or potentially Overflow. But Raid and Plaza are kind of like my 2 best maps for ground war domination, particularly Raid. Like, I set my most kills in Raid the other day, I do believe. It was 74 and 8. But you have to have bad enemies. Now, you don't want constantly, like, below, like, level 10 type of thing, because then they just camp, and then you won't get anywhere. With me, I prefer enemies, if I can find it, I prefer enemies that are somewhere between 20 and 30s, because they know the maps well enough that they won't camp. That sounds kind of cheap, that I'm, like, rating on how I would like my noobs, but that's like that's like, if I want a lobby, I want ones that are, like, who hopefully won't camp. So, bad enemies, you also have to have bad teammates. And let me kind of explain this. Like, if you're playing Kill Confirmed, for example, I know we were talking about domination, but let's hop over to Kill Confirmed real quick. If you are calling down hell with lodestars and dogs and swarms, you don't want your teammates going nom 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 like little Pac-Man eating up all the tags, because then that'll end the game quicker. Or in domination, you don't want to have the enemy pushed so far back in that your teammates triple cap them. Like, that's why you see YouTubers and people run support, is not so much for the VSAT and stuff, but to keep the enemy pushed back into one area and not triple cap and make the game last as long as possible. Now, I will never ask anybody in DsG to run support for me. That's why I play solo a lot of the time, and that's why when I go for gameplay, I play solo, because nobody wants to hear me rage. I don't want people to hear me rage. But when I'm going for gameplay, I find it easier to play solo. So that's why sometimes I don't join, I don't talk, I want to play solo. And you also have to have the right score streaks. So that basically means you can either run 4 or 5 things. You can run dogs, swarm, obviously. Lodestar would be helpful. VSAT is good, and I recommend escort drone. It just, those are like the 5 kind of key things like I would run to get 100 plus. Like escort drone, VSAT, and dogs. Like, that was in the world's most Black Ops 2 kills. VSAT, or not VSAT, escort, dogs, swarm. And it's because, one, your teammates, well, I suppose one, because he was running with support and his teammates were throwing up VSATs and EMPs and UAVs and counter UAVs and stuff all day long. But also, if see, this is where I get kind of selfish. If I don't throw up a VSAT, the teammates are much less likely to triple cap or like, just absolutely slay the crap out of people and pick up their tags. Like, it's kind of selfish, kind of, but it's like, you want the game to last as long as possible. And VSAT is kind of iffy. Like, I don't know, sometimes I wish it was kind of a solo, like, only you could see it, but the other half of the time, it's nice when your teammates can save your ass when they have a VSAT up. So that's the end of the game, guys. I hope you all found this commentary interesting, kind of different. Smash that like button. Peace. I'm out, guys.